You're absolutely, you're 100%
looks too much like a soccer jersey.
Yes,
still.
it does. It does look like a
That's
soccer
why.
jersey. But
Crouch, bind, set.
Hello, everybody. This is Thomas.
That's Thomas.
This is Adam. Welcome to episode 3 of the PODcastaways. Today we'll be rounding up the weekend's games, talking a little about the World Cup, and Adam has an additional game for us to play today. So switching it up a little bit and doing something new. But we can go ahead and jump in and talk a little bit about the weekend's games. This weekend, the D3 team went up to Toledo and played a game there, and the D4 team traveled up to Findlay, Ohio, and played a game there as well. Both unfortunately ended in defeat, and yeah, that's really all we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I think Ollie we'll get some shots of Ollie this week, talking us through the stats and things. I think it's just going to tell us the same story that we already know, that we gave away too many penalties. Yeah. We were a bit disjointed in what we did. I don't think we really deserve to lose that game, but it is what it is. We'll just have to learn from it and move on.
Exactly.
So more to come on that in a bit. You did score a try, though.
My first one ever, which was exciting.
It was a great offload to you.
It was a great team effort. There was a head, a knee involved, a great catch, and a probably 20-meter sprint. So it was a great time. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I will put the video here, but it does miss you seeing the try, but it does get me kicked in the face by Ollie.
Is the head healed up all the way?
It's there. It's like
there's a little
dry stuff. It was more of I just had a headache all day Sunday and Monday.
In the video, you look like you spot out for a second, and then you kind of roll up and look over and go, oh,
well, I literally got hit. I rolled back. Everything went black for about a second, and I sat up and I felt fine, and I was like, turned around, did you score? And I was like, good, he scored. It was worth it. But yeah, it was a tough game. Not fun to obviously come away with the lose, but anyway, we live and we learn. We'll move forward. Do you want to round up World Cup stuff or?
Sure, absolutely, yeah. So the last weekend's game started with a Thursday game. I think it was that France versus Uruguay to start, or Uruguay to start it, which was a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
That being said, it was France's B-side, I should say, and a couple guys returning from injury, like Anthony Jolanche, who's come back after, I think, a torn ACL or something like that, or an Achilles, something like that. But they looked super disorganized, and I mean, Uruguay played out of their skin. Their number 6 was everywhere, all over the ball. They were running the ball out wide, running it around the French defense. It was pretty sweet to see. And their kits are pretty sweet, too. That orange-blue color is pretty dope.
Yeah. Obviously it wasn't the French 14, first 15.
Yeah.
But, to play that well was good. I do like an upset. We'll talk about Fiji in a second. But I think that game it wasn't... no one was surprised by the fact that France won. And I think most people are surprised by how difficult it made it look for France. And watching the game, I think France were shocked.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, definitely great props to Fiji, to Uruguay for that. And then...
the big upset of the weekend.
The big upset, well, yeah. I mean, I was secretly hoping for Japan to beat England.
Yeah.
Because you can't help but love them and want to watch them play. They're cool. They've got some great running backs. Who's the number 8? Leach,
but
Leach.
I want to say maybe he was 8 or maybe he was number 6. I don't remember.
Okay.
This weekend. Himeno played 8.
But I mean, obviously, just a great leader of the team, and good team. The Dan Cole headering it on. I know that
that was Joe Marler.
No, it was Joe Marler. Yeah, sorry, Joe Marler headed it forward. Obviously, Courtney Laws was onside, so it counts, and it's obviously not off his hands or not off his shoulder, so it's play on. So there was a couple of weird questions there about that law and stuff, and I was like, well, if it's not a knock on through a hand or shoulder, it's the same as kneeing it or kicking it forward. As long as the player who picks it up is onside when it happens, perfectly fine. But Japan did. That was a little bit of a breakdown. They stopped playing.
They did.
Waiting for a knock on to get called, and Courtney Laws just kind of picked it up and
went on.
Okay, I'll score.
I actually have a fun story about this game. So I had watched the game, and I went out to go to the Funny Bone, which is a comedy club in Easton, and the main headliner hadn't come on yet, but the opening comedian, this guy named Simon Fraser, went up and did a show.
Is he a British guy?
He is British.
I watched
And
him.
as I was walking out,
All the
he
best
walks
people are
out. I
British.
was wearing some rugby merch, and he comes up to me and goes, "Did you see that England beat Japan?" No joke. And then he walks up to me and goes like this with his hand, and heads his own hand at me like this, like he's heading the ball to me, which is pretty funny. But he
Pretty cool.
told me he played fullback back in the day in England.
I wonder where he's
came over
from.
here.
Because like
Um,
I've seen his.
Manchester.
Does not sound like he's from Manchester.
That's what he said, or at least he talked about that the majority of the time. Maybe he wasn't born there, but he talked about that a lot in the
Well,
show.
he's maybe a bit posh for Manchester. That's where I went to university.
Okay.
So, well, that's cool. Like, I
Mhm.
didn't know he was in town.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get tickets to
think he
Bert
lives
Kreischer in a couple of weeks in
That'd be
Cincinnati, which is awesome. I saw him in Brooklyn when he used to live there, but that'd be cool. Maybe we should.
Try to go.
We do Podcastaways episode,
Get him a
whatever
cameo.
it is. Oh, the machine. Cool. So yeah, that's a cool. It was a good game. Obviously, England did well to win that, and I think England have surprised everyone in the World Cup so far. No one expected them to beat Argentina. Everyone expected them to beat Japan, but maybe not as convincingly as that did.
I agree.
So I think that group that everyone was a bit shocked, or not shocked by, but looking forward to how that could come out. I think it's probably going to end Argentina and England 1-2.
I think so.
But the other group with Australia, Fiji, and Wales in it is going to
Tight one.
become a bit of a fun one.
Mhm.
Love a Fiji game.
They were really good. They have so many star players in their lineup, even if sometimes they're disjointed because they're maybe not the most organized at times. Just on star power alone, they can carry games themselves.
Yeah.
And really, the biggest thing that I've seen as an improvement between them from 4 years ago and now is their pack is just so much more solid. Their backline has always been these rock stars, but adding people like Badia at 7, who converted, I think, from being a center to playing flanker, and some of them, and there it's just changed their game completely, and they're so much better.
Yeah, something that I thought was really interesting, one of the stats that popped up in the game was handling errors.
Mhm.
Usually, Fiji, the style of rugby, running it with one hand and offloads, you expect them to have
A lot.
They actually had less than Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Australia had a lot more handling errors, a lot more issues with their back line, a little bit disjointed between their forwards and their backs, which obviously any Fijian running at you, doesn't matter if it's 1 through 15, you're going to need to be kind of organized.
Mm-hmm.
So Fiji were just great. And I actually watched it. I had to watch it in 3 separate chunks. Like I watched it a bit here, and then I went to my in-laws and I watched a bit more, and then I came home again and watched it a bit more. But yes, I was very excited for Fiji to win that.
Ireland plays South Africa this weekend, don't they?
They do, and there's some controversy about the kits they have to wear.
I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to talk also just about predictions on who we think is going to win that one. That's going to be the biggest game. But yeah, the clothing, the kits, they had to change from not only having one alternate, they now have a second alternate as well that just does that same white shirt but without all of the jade patterning.
Well, it does have the pattern on it, it's just white on white.
Just white on white, okay.
Which I think is going to look really cool.
Yeah.
But it's just, obviously, they've been playing Ireland in this group for how long? And Ireland play in emerald green home, or hyper jade, and white away. And so South Africa have gone and made a chain strip that matches both of those, and so can't play in their home strip, and can't play in their away strip either. So weird situation, but opportunity for more merch, which is always good.
And they'll sell out. I'm sure it's a World Cup year.
Sam and myself and a few others are trying to get the Chile away strip. Have you seen it? The white one with the eagle feathers and stuff.
I have seen that one.
Sam has been in direct contact with Umbro. That's as far as he's had to take it to try and get one, because you just can't get them here.
It's hard to get stuff. I mean, even the Argentinian ones have been hard to get in the past. Only now are we starting to get some of the Nike stuff here.
Yeah.
Because I wanted one for forever, and I bought one from the last World Cup cycle, and it was like $300 to get it here.
Oh, ridiculous.
So,
yeah, I mean, I used to get them all the time. I mean, the price of those jerseys and things has gone up a ridiculous amount. But some of those smaller teams, the Chile one, the Portugal one's really cool with the tiles.
I like it.
Obviously, the South Africa away one is really cool. But yeah, some of those strips are pretty cool. But I'll be dropping some money on some of the team stores and stuff pretty soon, hopefully.
So Ireland or South Africa this weekend?
I was trying to get
and
away
the controversial 7-1 bench. Did you see that, by the way?
I didn't.
7 forwards and 1 back. They just have Kobus, or is it Corbus Reinach on the bench, and then it's otherwise 7 forwards.
It's the opposite of what they did last weekend when they had 4 scrum halves on their team. I think this will be, other than match number 1, France versus New Zealand. I think this is the other game in the group stage that's going to be the big one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If you look at both of them playing against Romania, they both played Romania, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ireland 82, but they got scored on in the first minute. South Africa's score was 70 something.
I think so, yeah.
But they kept them to 3 points or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think Ireland were very shocked in the first 3 or 4 minutes when they got scored on, but then didn't let them do anything the rest of the game. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I think Ireland's forwards. That's probably why the 7-1 split's come along. Ireland's front 5, particularly. Well, actually, all 8 because like Van der Vlier in the back row is amazing.
Doris and them too,
yeah. I think the forwards have got it. I think Johnny Sexton will be a target, and so he'll get taken out of the game. I think they'll do the same with they'll take James Lowe out of the game. They'll take Matt Hampson out of the game by just kicking it away from them or not kicking it and making them play forward. I think South Africa's issue is their place kicking. So if Ireland can not afford to give penalties away, but they can play a little bit on the front foot, and they know that it's not much of a liability if they give away a kickable penalty, as it would be against someone with against France or someone. I would. Heart says Ireland. Head says too close to call. I'm gonna be a bit stressed watching it, and I might not watch it with any of you.
I think that if Ireland's going to win it, which I think they will, it's going to be through the backs. I mean, I think that while South Africa does have some incredible backs, you have Willemse, you have Libach, obviously Faf de Klerk is one of the best scrum halves in the world. I'm not a huge fan of De Allende, the inside center. I think Esterhazen's better. The Harlequin center, I think he's just
I think
a better
Esterhazen
player,
and Willy Leroux together were great this weekend. And I think Willy Leroux, I don't know how old he is. He is getting on a bit. But I do think he adds something
His
a little
IQ
bit
is
special,
so
a little
high.
bit just like, you can just look around, and a couple of times it didn't come off against Romania. But he does bring something special. I think he's definitely, for me, one of those first couple of names on the team sheet.
Yeah. I think then South Africa, because they're bringing that 7-1 split on the bench, that they're going to look to just make the rotations right at halftime and bring on the full new squad to just plow through the forwards.
That's interesting. So. You got to do that against Ireland. Ireland's their front 3 are interchangeable with the reserve 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think Josh Van der Vlier is probably the only player that you can't sub out for someone like for like in that front, in that their pack. I don't know. I think Jameson Gibson Park, Conor Murray debate at scrum half.
Gibson Park all the way for me. I think he's better.
I think up front tackles and a bit more bulk behind him. Conor Murray is great. He can't make a break like he used to, and he doesn't make a break like Gibson Park does. But I just love the Conor Murray Johnny Sexton partnership.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Bundy Aki and Gary Ringrose in the centre, I think that's where Ireland are going to just go and put some points on them. I think the back 3 are going to be kept out of the game.
I don't recall who the back 3 are. I know Willems is the full back. Leroux's not even on the bench.
Is he? Oh, wow. Okay.
I think they have Aronza and maybe Colby are the two wingers, and I don't know how that's going to stack up against Hansen and Lowe, but I mean both Aronza and Colby are the same type of player. They're fast, quick, and they're just going to run that ball down all day and jump up for it all day.
I mean, Mac Hampson's pretty quick, very quick, but he's not Cheslin Colby quick. Mm-mm. So, it'd be an interesting one. Okay, check in with me next week and we'll see how we feel. Might have to have a few pints of Guinness just to celebrate or commiserate. Yeah.
Alrighty, let's do the game.
Okay, so here's my game. So talking about jerseys.
Okay.
There's a lot of teams in the World Cup. There's 20 teams, obviously. So what I did is I went through and I picked my personal 16 favorites, home and away strips.
Okay.
And then I just sorted them alphabetically on this. And we're going to pick the best kit,
Okay.
and then you have to buy it for me.
Buy it for you. I don't know about that one.
So round one. Here you go. You can scroll through and I can resize it. But round one, we've got Argentina's home strip versus Australia's away strip, and this was a late ad. I didn't realize how nice this kit was until I saw it, just on a photo. Because I don't think they've played in it yet.
So I don't think Australia's in this pool. Are you picking one from each pool?
It was just alphabetical. So
Okay.
Argentina, Australia.
Definitely got to give that one to Argentina.
Okay. Definitely not.
That's just classic and
Yeah, I do think that. I think
Love it.
some of the classic jerseys are awesome, and then there's a little bit of like some fun stuff going on. This is, I'm going to be biased. This is my personal favorite. This is Chile's away strip.
yeah, Chile for
White
sure on
with
this
the
one.
eagle things against England. The only reason I kept the England one in is just because I think it's a little bit different, playing in the blue, which is only recent years, and it's kind of got that like Under Armour stuff. If you look at some of the
it's almost
details
like
in
a
there.
chest plate on there. I do like that.
I think it's pretty cool. I knew Chile was going to win that one. That kit is awesome. Okay, round three. You got Fiji, typical black on white with the kind of tribal stuff.
Yeah.
But I like this Georgia kit. It's pretty cool. It's got like the Georgia flag there. It's got like, if you look at some of the details with all the flowers and things in, it's subtle, but it's like it's pretty cool.
So I really liked Fiji's before the World Cup that had more of the black pattern all over it.
Mm-hmm.
This one feels a little bit plain for Fiji, so I would also give this one to Georgia. I think, even though I'm not the hugest fan of their kit either, this one I think it's more interesting looking anyways. But
Side note, I do think we should all buy the Fiji away kit, which just looks like
red
a
and
Hawaiian,
black,
red and
right?
black Hawaiian shirts, and then that should just be our new kit.
I would agree with that. That's pretty sweet.
Cool. Round, I forget what we're at for. This is Italy's kit, and I wouldn't usually pick an Italy kit. It's usually just a plain blue, tricolore. But if you look at some of the details with like the olive branches and stuff, it's cool. It's really nice. It's a bit different. And then I'm obviously going up against the Shoguns, like the cherry and white. Like, look at the Japan kit is awesome.
I don't think you can beat Japan's. I do like that they included the wreaths in reference to the Roman history of the country. Not a fan of that collar. I don't think it pops out enough, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna have to give it to Japan, the blossoms. I even like their away kit a lot too. That blue and darker blue tones together with the yellow is also really
it's
nice.
basically the same kit, just the color swap, which is really cool.
I also like they had a little fleur-de-lis in the center of it too for France. I liked that.
Well, I also like all of the little details in the Japan kit,
flowers.
all the little stuff. It's really cool. Cool. Moving to the other side of the bracket, that is Namibia. Which is cool. I just like this because it's just a little bit different. It's on the standard size of things, but it's just like all the details in it, the blue on blue. I personally think this is a really cool kit, and it's just a little bit understated.
When I first saw the All Blacks kit, when they first were releasing it, that the fern pattern stuck out a lot, and I did not like how it looked at all.
When you see it, when them playing in it, it's so subtle you can't see it. Although I'm a fan of just New Zealand just being plain black as little as possible. The one kit I liked probably from 2011 World Cup was the one single fern that went through the middle that had that black, like that silver kind of shine that this one does, but it was one big swipe through, which I really liked. I think I have one. But I personally would prefer Namibia to win.
I would also agree with that one. I would agree with that.
I thought this was going to make arguments between us. I thought this was going to get some good content, but now we're just agreeing on everything. Okay. Romania versus Samoa.
So on both of these, to be honest, I don't really like either of them. I think the Romanian away kit looks better.
It's
white
one with the blue sleeves, yeah.
Black. I don't like either one, and I think Samoa's is completely boring.
Really?
I don't like it at all.
I like the Samoa one. It's got like little
I think
subtle
it's so
things on
bland.
it.
I think it's so boring.
What?
I feel like the Romanian one is dialed down. Like sometimes they really overdo it and really do the red, blue, and yellow all over it, but like this pattern they have across the sleeves should almost go across the ribs, in my opinion, and it doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's got elements of like the Fiji stuff with the tribal like shoulders and things, but in a Romanian way, like they're owning it themselves. I like it. I mean, I'm not a fan of that collar.
I don't like
it's
either
the same
one.
collar as the. It's very similar
Slightly
to.
different. Yeah, and I don't like the collar on either one of them either. I think they're both pretty bad.
You got to pick one.
I'm gonna have to go with Romania because I just think the Samoan one's so boring.
Won't tell any Samoans you said that. Right, now, this is going to be fun because the South Africa one is so out there and so different for a rugby kit.
Yes.
But then the Scottish one has so many subtle little things. It has the tartan, which is the Scottish national team's tartan, which is really cool. It's not based on a family, it's based on the team, which is really cool. It's got that kind of down the sides. It's also got it on the sleeves. It's also got it on the back of the collar.
Yeah.
And when they pop the collar, I don't know if this one has the pop collar anymore, but when they used to, it used to be underneath that, which I really liked.
So I have to err on the side of Scotland on this one. I think this one's a little bit too crazy, and it almost reminds me of like a soccer jersey.
It does.
And I really don't like it. I also I know there's probably a deeper meaning to it. I think I saw that it was representing maybe something with flowers or something. And I don't know. It just looks weird. I don't think I'd want to wear it if it was a kid that was offered to me. But
I really like
the Scotland
it.
one is just tried and true with the tartan on it. I do like the collar. I can't remember what year it was. Maybe it was 2021 or 2022 where they have the white popped collar that came up and over it. That was one of my favorite kits I've ever seen. I always err on the side of the classics. So this one's a little bit outlandish for me, and I really am not a fan of it, actually.
Fair enough.
It's kind of whack.
I'm happy for Scotland to win that one. Okay, last one. That is Tonga
Ugly.
and Uruguay.
I have to give it to Uruguay every time on that one. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's just that brand, but because also seeing how they wear it, seeing the fit, it also doesn't look right. But I'm not a fan of the what is this one? You said Tonga?
Yeah.
Not a fan of Tongas at all.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Uruguay one. The flower.
If you want to win me over for a jersey, it's less patterns and it's more like traditional, like blocking hoops, that kind of stuff. That's my favorite style. Because these, to me, again, look almost like soccer jerseys. I like the look of the Uruguayan one. It's my favorite of all of them. Their away one's actually better, in my opinion, the orange one. But
I didn't see the orange one.
It's an orangish yellow color with a white collar, I think. It's really cool. I'll have to show a picture of it later on, or you can pop it up here. But
okay.
Boring.
Well, then now this is going to be quick fire to get through the next round.
Okay.
So you picked Argentina versus Chile.
Mm-hmm. I'm still going to go with Argentina on that one.
No! You're 100%
looks
wrong.
a soccer jersey.
Yes,
still.
it does look like a
That's why.
jersey. But I just like it so much.
Nothing will beat hoops for me. To me, this one is probably going to go all the way for me. I think that genuinely hoops.
Well, then we should not play this game.
No,
because you're wrong.
We'll see.
Okay. Thomas is wrong, but Argentina move forward.
I think
Okay.
Japan might win it for me overall.
I forget what you did on this one.
It was Georgia and Japan. Japan's going to take that one for me right away.
Okay.
Namibia and Romania. God, see, I'm really not a fan of either one of them overall. But I'll go with Romania just because it's a little more fun, I guess. Scotland versus Uruguay. Even though I am a classics fan, I will go with Uruguay on this one.
What?
I think I will.
You just undid your whole thing.
Purely because they're a more fun team to watch. That's where I'm going to go. It's a little bit of a bias in there, but I'm going to go with that one, I think.
You love Finn Russell.
Yeah, but
okay.
He's played like shit so far. So.
Chile versus
not Chile, Argentina.
Argentina
versus Japan. See, now this is hard.
There you go. So you got to go hoops.
They're both hoops.
That's what I mean. You got to go.
I think I'm going to go on Japan for that one.
Yes.
I think I'll go on that one. And this side, it would be between Uruguay and Romania. Well, Uruguay is going to go for that one, and then I think Japan has it for me the whole way.
Japan. There you go.
I think the only thing I would change is their socks. I don't like that the socks are all white. I think I would go with hoop socks as well, or like some type of red on the socks.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan of long socks anyway. I don't play in long socks.
Yeah, I pull mine all the way down pretty much anyway. So
okay, so there you go. A definitive wrong answer, but
correct answers. Well, who would you have had winning? Who's your
Chile?
Really think so?
Yes.
I like their home one more than this one too.
No, that one's so cool. The supporters one that they put out first with like the almost cartoon-like, it's not, but eagle on the side. That one was awesome.
Fun fact about the Chilean team, by the way, if you look on the World Rugby site, they posted a picture of whoever Chile played last week in this. They put the Texas flag and not the Chilean flag on the thing, and had to delete it and repost it again.
Can you find that? If you find that, we'll put it here if we can find it.
But yeah, that's a true that's a true story. It was the Texan flag versus I don't know who they played, but
Chile played Portugal in the first game. No,
it was whoever this weekend was. Which I don't know who they played.
Chile versus, I don't know.
But yeah, it was a Texan flag for some reason. So I noticed that people were complaining about it. Understandably, anyways.
Well,
So
I mean, you're definitively wrong about Argentina, but I left it in just to have an argument with you because I wouldn't have even put it in the top 16 if it was me.
Argentina's away kit is also amazing.
It's awful.
I like it.
It's just let's just make the blue darker.
No. It's like a navy color with a red stripe across like this and gold bands. Like it's supposed to represent.
Is it?
One of the folks that
Hang on.
that helped them gain their independence from
Argentina rugby
away kit.
away.
Telling you.
Are you telling me that's not a soccer jersey?
It looks like it, but I like Argentina, so I like it.
You're such a. Okay, that's enough of that. Shit.
My favorite rugby jersey of all time is I've only seen it in pictures because when I first started watching rugby, loved Bowden Barrett. The Taranaki ones that are yellow and black hoops with a white popped collar looks so cool to me, and they have the red Canterbury logo on the chest. I love them. Like the big hoop jerseys, just nothing beats them for me. I don't think anything will. But I want us to have those, but we don't.
Yeah, the D4 team. When I saw the pictures against Finley, obviously we were over at Toledo, but those old jerseys of ours, they're pretty cool.
They are really cool.
Like,
they're white with red up the sides like this, and around the I don't know what you call this, but
a bicep. You don't have any, but
bicep. Yeah, thanks, dude. And then the collar's also red, so it's like this. It's really basic, and that's what I like about it. The more basic they are, the better. Overly detailed. To me, that's a tour kit that I would wear as a one-off game, and I wouldn't wear it again. But,
yeah, I mean, I tend to like. I mean, I really like our black and grey jerseys. It does need a sponsor on the front, which would make it more real. But yeah, I think we've got some good kits this year. I do love the Gilbert on the shoulders, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. One final thing that I had to talk about was just an update on the fantasy team.
Okay. Let's see it.
I don't want to show it because I am lost. So
people didn't pay attention to the order of the games, and
I know I did, and I made trades, and I still came last.
Oh no! Yeah, there's a couple people I'm sure had kept Antoine Dupont at 9, and he wasn't going to play and stuff like that. So
yeah, let me just check. I'm last by 100%, but I'll just need to look at who's first, and then I'll owe them a beer. I don't think Bert bought Ben a beer last week, so
he's still got to do that. He told it to him, but
we did.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you I'm last, 9th. Larry is first, but what makes it a bit better is I'm on 502 points.
Mm-hmm.
Larry's on 931.
Because he had all the Fijians in there and the Portuguese players that I think played well this weekend.
Yeah, he had.
Oh, it's the Fijians and he has the Irish in there or something.
Well, he also. I don't know what's happened if you look at his team. Like some of the names and the jerseys don't match up.
Yeah, I don't know if Furlong's jersey.
But he had the Japan hooker, which scored a place, and then he had Artis Vare, who for New Zealand, who
in another world, he plays for Japan.
Yeah, and then Bundyaki obviously plays for Samoa down here.
Bundyaki probably scored the most points out of anybody. He had 2 tries, right?
Bundyaki scored.
And Mapimpi probably had
2.
Mapimpi probably had a lot of points because he had a hat trick.
Yeah, he's in someone else. Someone else had him in the team. I mean, the highest point scorer of the whole tournament so far, I think, is Johnny Sexton.
That doesn't surprise me
because of all the kicks.
Yeah. And his try that he got as well. That set him over the record that beat Ronan O'Gara's scoring record for Ireland.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen Ronan O'Gara speak Irish?
Have you seen him speak French?
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Je préfère si c'était Lyon ou Bordeaux, je m'en fucking fous. On joue Bordeaux, samedi, c'est comme ça.
So
I don't even want to try to mimic how he sounds.
Oh, you can't. It's just the thickest Irish accent with then just like some French words thrown in. It's great.
It's like the clip of Johnny Sexton talking to the people in Toulon, and it's like he's swearing in English, but he's talking in French and just keeps cutting between the two of them. I love it.
It's great.
As we're closing out here, though, looking to the weekend ahead, we have a big game against a D4 game, I should say, against the Coyotes at home again. So I'm going to be out there cooking burgers and food for other people. And then after that, we go on and take on the Detroit Tradesmen at home again. And they've actually had a really big weekend. So they beat Detroit RFC, who were originally number 1 and now have been superseded. Detroit, the Tradesmen, so both teams out of Detroit, won both their D1 and D3 games last weekend, so they're now looking to be the team to beat. And
Wow.
we were looking to play them. They're going to be. It was a close game between them and Detroit, the tradesmen in Detroit, but it's going to be. I mean, we kept Detroit pretty close as well, so it's going to be a big game for us.
Yeah, tradesmen have got some bigger guys. I obviously don't know their 15th positions, but I played them in sevens this summer, and some of their guys, hard running lines, definitely is going to be like a 6, 7, 8, 12, 13 are going to be
big guys.
tough. But we'll bring it. We'll practice some stuff this week. It's always good to just get out there. I mean, I don't play rugby to win. Winning's nice, but I play rugby because
Have fun.
we want to have fun. We want to just stay positive and I don't know, keep fit in my old age.
As well.
But yeah, it's been a great season so far, even with the 2 losses. So
Got 2 more games ahead, and the season will come to an end. But
I will come help you grill stuff.
okay, good to know.
I'll bring the brown sauce. That's British stuff.
Okay, so I don't know what that is. Is that some type of curry sauce or something?
No, it's brown.
This is just called brown sauce. Is it
That's called
Worcestershire
HP
sauce?
sauce.
Never heard that before.
Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, Worcestershire sauce.
Say it again.
Isn't it Worcestershire sauce?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire? No, I don't say that. I think it's French. Anyways, come out and play with us. We play from 6 to 8 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays with game days on Saturdays, all at Rhodes Park. All of our social events are at Woodlands Backyard, and our Thursdays after practices are at Woodlands Tavern. But I think that should do it.
Yeah.
We still don't have a conclusion or a
Well, I was going to say that bit, and that was.
Oh, you got it?
No, I was going to say come out, play Rhodes Part, and put it up on the screen. But you just ruined it.
well, I didn't know that, but
One day we'll make a plan for this. Bye, everyone.
Bye.